Hey, what's up y'all? It's me, Paul, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about tech, consulting, and personal development. This will be the 4th episode of the consulting series that I'm doing. In this video, I'll be talking about the negative things that people don't really tell you about the consulting lifestyle. Anyways, let's get started. Thing number 1 is pretty much the lack of stability. What I mean by this is that when you're consulting, you're pretty much hopping from project to project. You're always ramping up to learn new technologies, learning your industry, as well as getting to know your clients and stakeholders. And this takes a lot of effort and energy. And that means you're always gonna be on your toes all of the time. Another thing about that too is it's definitely hard to maintain a routine where you're always consistent, making commitments with your families or friends, because projects always change. For example, you may be staffed on a project working the regular 9 to 5 hours, whereas sometimes other projects would require you to work a 7 to 3. Those things really vary and you can't really make hardcore commitments, and that really puts a strain on your relationships. The second thing is the constant traveling. I know that during the pandemic, this is not really a thing to worry about, but pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, you might be thinking about traveling more often. Traveling is super great and all because you'll get those mileage, you'll get those hotel points, and those per diems for free food. But that comes at a cost, and that cost is your health. Sure, it's exciting to hop on a plane, to go to a new state, to go to a new city. However, it gets boring really quickly. Sure, the first week, you're all excited, packed and ready to go. By the time you come back, you'll be tired from work, tired from all the events, and then you'll have maybe a couple days of break, or maybe even a week of break before you have to hop back on a plane. The more you travel, the less you'll end up enjoying it and really start hating it, because sometimes the stress of packing, the stress of unpacking, the stress of booking a hotel, the stress of delaying of a flight, and all these things really add up. As a result of the constant travel, you'll end up burning out much quicker. The third thing is this career is not very eco-friendly. Maybe during the pandemic, when you were working from home, it doesn't really matter. But pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, you'll have one of the highest carbon footprint in your industry. Every time you step foot onto an airplane, that's an extra carbon emission that you're emitting into the air and actually contributing to climate change, as well as the amount of Ubers and Lyfts that you'll be taking while you're traveling. The fourth thing to think about is the intensity of this work. Consulting can be extremely stressful because you solve really complex problems. Other times, clients are the ones who are more difficult to handle. Sometimes they would push back on your ideas and question if they really want to hire you or not. And in order to please them, you have to amend to their changes all the time. And that can happen almost every day, where clients can say one thing, but the next day they change their whole entire plan and want to go another way. And you will have to adjust to their plans. And as a result of all this, you'll end up working more hours than you need to, adding onto your overtime hours and pretty much burning you out much quicker as well. The fifth thing that you might want to think about before joining the consulting lifestyle is that you might not get to work on the projects you want to work on. For example, let's say you want to work on a full stack project, but then you're suddenly staffed on a project that's business development and also data analytics, which is far completely different. While if you had chosen like a more tech career oriented job, you get to choose and apply to the jobs that you want. Let's say if you want to work for a gaming industry, you can apply to Blizzard or Riot. If you want to work for an aerospace company, you might want to apply for Boeing for the software engineering division. And so in consulting, you don't get those choices and that option to choose what you want to choose. The sixth thing that you might want to think about is that pay is much lower compared to the big tech firms like Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Most people who join consulting, they're not really in for the money, but rather for the opportunities as well as networking and career growth. So these are some of the dark secrets that people don't tell new consultants when they're so eager to join. So please keep that in mind and that reassess your situation and determine if these things fit your own lifestyle. But just know that there are many other pros to the consulting lifestyle, as I mentioned in my previous videos. I hope you find this video helpful, and please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.